Hey everybody, this is Jim, the Tabletop Engineer, and welcome to a new playthrough video. Today I am playing Final Girl. I am going to be playing the character of Uki. I've never played her before. She has 6 health to start out with. I am going up against Hans at Station 2891. This is the location for the Season 2 game that mimics the movie The Thing. And Hans is the big bad from the Season 1 game that I cannot remember the locale for it, but that's okay. I'm slowly playing through Hans at different locations, but I jump around every now and then. So I've already shuffled up the terror deck and put out all the cards, but let me go ahead and do this. I need to pick a finale card for Hans, so I'll just shuffle these up real fast and just pick one. I'll pick this one right here. And I also need to pick out the Dark Power, so I'll shuffle this real quick and pick out one. I'll do that one, and the rest go over here. I've already shuffled the equipment cards and the setup where the victims and the killer and the final girl, me, go. I've shuffled the event card, but I haven't drawn one yet. I'll do that in a moment. Hans has 12 health. I've put out 11 hearts. And then these 9, there is one of them has 1 heart under it, one has 2, and one has 3, and the rest are blank. I'm just going to pick one at random for him and me. And when he loses all his health, or when I lose all my health, you flip that over to see if you have any bonus hearts. Okay, let's see. I start out with a 2-way radio that I can use to... It says, use to move a victim 1 space at the cost of 1 time. May not be used on the same victim more than once in a single turn. And it's got 4 uses. Let's see. Uki has hers. I start out with the terror track. Horror track starts on 4. The time starts on 6. This one, there's only 1 exit. It's the helicopter field. I have to get 3 victims onto the helicopter, or up to 3, and then send the helicopter to the Arctic airport, and then it returns where I can load it up again. Let's see, what else? I've already done the terror deck. There's a frostbite rule. We'll go over that when that happens. And then finally, I think that's it. All right, so with my initial 6 cards, let's go ahead and get started. Oh, I got to do the first event. Let's draw it. What's up, Doc? Choose a victim. That victim is now the doctor. It will be replaced with the blue. It doesn't say a random one, so I'm going to... If you are in the same room as the doctor during upkeep phase, you heal 2 hearts. If the doctor is killed, add +1 bloodlust. Okay, so choose a victim. I can choose anyone. I'm going to put it way far away from the killer. So there's the doctor. And if I can get to the doctor, I can heal 2 hearts during the upkeep phase. All right, my turn. So the first thing I want to do is look at my cards. I always try to get the horror track down to 1 instead of position 4 so that I can use 3 dice instead of 2. So I'm going to play a focus to try and lower it. I got 1 star, which allows me to lower it by 1, and I lose a time. So that is done. Oops, picked up the wrong card. Sorry. Okay, let's see. That card goes in the play area. I'm going to play the next focus. And I got a star, so it lowers again. And I lose a time. Now, I want to get 3. I need to get 3 of the victims to the helicopter stage. So what I can do is I can do a walk. Let's see how far I can get. Not very far. I didn't roll anything. So I could choose to move up to 1 space and lose a heart in 2 time. Or I just lose 2 time. I am going to choose to move a space, and I'll lose a heart. And I lose 2 times, so I'm down to 2. I'm going to hold on to my last walk. I always like to have a getaway. And I'm going to do a short rest to see if I can recover that heart. I just need 1 star. And I got 2, so I recover 2 stars, but I'm already at max health, so I just get it back. And I also lose 1 time, so I'm down to 1. And the weak attack does nothing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this in and get a time, and I'm up to 2. It is now the upkeep phase. So with that, I can buy... I didn't use my second walk. I need to keep that. I need to buy some cards. With 2, all I can buy is a sprint. That is it. I am done for this turn. Timer goes back up to 6, and these cards go into the 0 cost tableau. Tableau, I don't know. Alright, it is now the killer phase. The killer targets anyone in his spot and stabs, where there's nobody here. Then the killer draws a terror card. The terror track drops by 2, 1, 2, so my focuses go to waste. It targets me or the nearest victim, and it moves 2 spaces. Well, the nearest victim is in the hallway, so it will go here, and here are the nearest victims. So this is done. It doesn't stab, but it will on its next turn. All right, my turn. Let's see. Use to move a victim 1 space. I'm going to use the 2-way radio as an action. I'm going to tell this victim to move here. I'm going to do it again to tell this victim to move here, and that's all I can do. Remember, I can only move 1 victim per turn, but I'm just getting them closer to me, and I have 2 more uses. Let me mark these. I've used it twice, and I've got 2 more uses of it. Okay, it is now my turn. Oh, the killer phase, he didn't kill anybody, so there is no panic phase. The upkeep phase is when you reveal the finale card, but that's only when the terror card is gone. So, let me see, I need to set a timer. Okay. Next, let me think. Next. 7 minutes, so it goes down to 20. Okay. My cards. Let's do a sprint and see how far we can go. Not very far. Move 1 space, lose a heart, lose 2 times, end your turn, or lose a heart and lose 2 times. I'm just going to choose to lose a heart and lose 2 times. I don't want it to be the end of the turn. So I'm down to 4. And then I will do a walk. Actually, it's my turn, so I can use the radio again. I'm going to use this one to move this victim here. And I'm going to use the last one to move this victim here. And the radio is used up. Alright, so it goes away. And I'll do the walk. Nothing. Man! Alright, I can move... Again, I can move 1 space, lose a heart, which I will do, and lose 2 times, so I'm down to 2, and move 1 space. So I'm going to move them to the helicopter. And I'm going to tell them to get on the helicopter, so they're here. And that's all I can do. So this goes back up to 6. Actually, I got 2 to spend. I'll buy a sprint. I get all the freebies back, the 0 cost. This goes up to 6. These go into their spots, and that is the end of my turn. Killer will stab 1 victim. This one comes into the dead, and it pushes up the bloodlust by 1, and then he draws a card. Come on! Drops by 2 again. Targets the nearest victim and moves. Well, it's already there, so nothing happens. All right. My turn. There is a panic phase. He killed this one. So this one will panic, and it moves to number 4, which is this hallway. All right. And he's in here. It is now the upkeep phase. The finale card does not get revealed. My turn. All right. I need to send the helicopter running. And I believe the rule says you may freely move it and up to 3 victims onto the Arctic Station 2891. So I'm going to move them here. Once the helicopter has victims, it cannot return to 2891 until it has first dropped off the victims. Victims on the helicopter cannot be targeted. This icon means the helicopter may move 1 space The fly faster means it, okay, I understand. So they are now at Arctic Station 2891, and they need to be moving. Well, the only way I can move them is to buy this card called Fly Faster. Or some of these terror cards will move the helicopter. Alright, so let's go rescue some more. Let's do a focus and a focus. I'm going to do it twice. That will let me turn in the weak attack and short rest to turn one of these to a star, which allows me to move this down one and lose a time. And then I'll do the other focus. And same thing, I have to donate 2 cards. I'm not going to do that, so instead I will lose 2 time. I'm going to do a sprint. And I get nothing. I cannot move. So I lose 2. I'm going to have to do this. I lose a heart. I lose 2 time. I'm down to 1. And it ends the turn. So my turn is done. So I stay with a walk call. I only have 1, so I'll buy a Fly Faster. That knocks me down to 0. I get the freebie cards, and then this goes back up to 6, and these cards go back into their spot. Okay, that is it for my turn. The killer phase. He targets anyone in his spot or a victim in his spot and kills. There's nobody there. So then we draw a terror card. Place Hans with the farthest target. Oh, he's in the doctor. This drops by 1. Draw the next terror card. There we go. Drop this by 1. Now I'm down to just 1 dice. 1 die. Then he targets the victim and kills. The doctor dies, and if the doctor dies, if the doctor gets killed, it's +1. The victim is now the doctor. If you're in the room, if the doctor is killed, bloodlust. The bloodlust goes up 1. This means this drops, which increases the bloodlust again. This game is not going well for me. And that's the end of this card. Oh, man. Okay, my turn. There's nobody to panic. Walk. Let's do the fly. Well, I'm only at 1 die. Oh, man. Let's roll Fly Faster and hope for 1 star. I didn't get it, and I cannot turn 2 cards into this. So this loses me a time, and this goes away. Walk. I got a star, so I can go here. And then I'll play the other walk and can't do anything. So I can move up to 1 space, lose a heart, and lose 2 time. And that is that. I will tell this one to stop here. The helicopter's already in the air. I believe once victims that are with it onto the Arctic space move up to 3 victims. Once the helicopter has victims, it cannot return. Oh, so it hasn't moved yet. So a 3rd victim can get on here. Okay. And that is my turn. Great. I have, 3 time left? 3 time to buy. I get, I cannot buy the Fly Faster. There's only 1 of those. I will buy the Distraction for 3. And that goes down to 0. I get all the free cards. This goes back to 6. And then these go into their spot. And that is it for my turn. The killer targets in his space. Nobody there. Draws a card. Each victim that is adjacent to a hallway moves into the hallway. Okay. This one does not, he cannot move into the hallway. These cannot move into the hallway. These 2 can. So these 2 will move into a hallway. Then panic 1 victim from each of the supply places. Here's 1, here's 1, here's 1. Nothing happens. This drops by 2. Bloodlust. So it goes 1, 2, reveals the dark power. Dark Obsession. Whenever Hans attacks you at least once, he attacks an additional time. Also, anyone outside gets a frostbite counter. When you get 2, you take a damage. And the helicopter moves. All right, finally, the helicopter moves. From here, it's in the air. And this goes away. My turn. All right, this is not looking good. One stinking die. All right, let's get him out. Let's do a focus and try to bump that up. I did. I got 1 star. So 1 star allows me to move this here, which puts me back to 2 dice. Oops. Back to 2 dice, and I lose a time, so this comes down. All right, so this goes away. Let's do a short rest. Got to recover some hearts. I will turn in. I can't do anything. So the short rest fails, which I can't. I'll get rid of the weak attack and the focus to make this a star, which allows me to heal 1 heart and heal 1 heart and lose a time. So I'm down to 4. All right. I'll roll my distraction. 1 star allows me to drop this 1, and I gain a time, so I'm up to 5. That is it for my turn. I have 5 to spend. I will buy the Fly Faster for 1, down to 4. I get the 2 walks back for free. For 4, I will buy a... I need to get inside. I will buy a sprint for 2. 1, 2, and I'll buy a long, well, I can't buy a long rest. I'll buy another sprint for 2, so I'm down to 0. All right, this goes back up to 6. These cards go back into their spaces, and now it is the killer turn. The killer targets in his space. There's nobody there, and then he draws a terror card. Drop this down by 1. If for every victim that is dead, Hans recovers a heart. Well, he's at full health, so that doesn't help or doesn't do anything. My turn. Sprint, sprint, walk, walk, fly faster. Let's do fly faster and see if we can get these guys healed. I got a 2. If I turn these 2, I'm going to turn these 2 walks in, make this a star, which allows me to move this to Arctic Airport. That means they escape. I will put them on here. I get 1 heart back. I'll put this one on here, which gives me, normally I lost a time, but this gives me a 2, so I'm up to 7. And the third one, I will say move 1 space. So I'm going to go from here to here. And remember, I've got a frostbite, so I got to get indoors. All right, my turn. The helicopter, by the way, is here. So now it's got to come back. This is gone. I will do a sprint. And I failed it. On failure, I can choose to move 1 space, lose 2 time, and be done. I'm going to choose to lose a heart and lose 2 time. I'm down to 5. And I'm going to do my second sprint, try to get inside. I got 1 star, which allows me to move 2 spaces. I can go 1, 2. I'm in the hallway. This goes away because I'm indoors. During the upkeep phase, it goes away, but I'll keep it there until the upkeep. All right, that is the sprint. I moved 2, and I lose a time, so I'm down to 4. It is now time to buy cards. I will buy a distraction for 3. I'm down to 1, and I'll buy a close call for 1, and I'm down to 0. I get the freebies back. This goes up to 6, and then these go back in their spaces. The killer stabs, nobody there, draws a terror card. If there are no victims in play, discard. Well, there are. Remove 1 normal victim from the game, choosing 1 in an outdoor space if able. There are none in outdoor. And then bloodlust go. I'll remove this one. And then move this up 1. All right, then he targets the nearest victim and moves. His boots is 2, so he can move 2 spaces. He can go 1, 2. He is now in the hallway with these guys. Then anyone outside gets a frostbite, and the helicopter moves. So the helicopter is now here in the air. That is it. This goes away for the upkeep phase, so I no longer have frostbite. It is now my turn. Focus and focus. I got 1 star. I'll take it. This drops 1, and I lose 2 time. Or, yeah, 1 time, excuse me. I'll do it again. 1 star, drops 1, lose a time. All right. Did I have a distraction? Distraction. Nothing. I'm going to do a reroll. Reroll all dice for 2 time. 1 star. 1 star allows me to drop this down 1, and I gain a time, so I'm back up to 3. I have a weak attack and a short rest. I'll do the short rest because I'm getting low. And I got 1 star, which allows me to heal a heart, and I lose a time. I'm down to 2 time. I have a weak attack left. I'm going to get rid of this to go up to 3 time. And now I have 3 time to spend. I will buy a distraction for 3. And I get the 2 walks back. That knocks me down to 0. This goes up to 6, and these go back into their space. And that is it for my turn. The killer targets the nearest victim and stabs. 1 of these goes here. This pumps up, drops the terror down by 1 with that little hockey mask symbol, and then he draws a card. If there are no victims, discard. Well, there are. Target the nearest victim, move, and stab. Well, he doesn't have to move. Here it is. He stabs, that moves up, and that card is done. This is a brutal, brutal game. All right, my turn. There are no more people in the hallway. This is considered a separate hallway than this one. So no panic phases. Let's do distraction. I get 1 star, which allows me to drop this by 1, and I gain a time. I'll do a walk. I got nothing. Move 1 space, lose a heart, lose 2 times. Well, I'm going to take these 2 and take them outside with me because I can move 1 space. I lose a heart, and I lose 2 time. And I'm going to walk 1 more time. If I could get 2 stars, would be outstanding. And I got nothing. So I will choose to move 1 space, lose a heart, and lose 2 time. I'm down to 3 time. I am done. With the 3, I will buy the distraction and get all these back. Ooh, I have no move. Let's not do that. I will buy a sprint for 2, a reroll for 1. That bumps it down to 0. I get the freebies. This goes up to 6, and then these go back into their space. My turn is done. He targets anyone in the hallway. Nobody there. Draw a card. Hans moves 1 additional space for each boot, and he has 2 bonus hearts. Yeah, Hans is a tough one. All right, and there is 1 terror card left, and then this gets revealed. All right. I keep forgetting the helicopter. It's my turn. All right. Let's do a focus. I'll get rid of the weak attack and actually, I'll do close call to reroll both of those. I lose 2 time. And I failed. Lose 2 time. All right. Let's do another focus. 1 star allows me to drop this by 1 and lose a time. I'm down to 1 time. Let's do a short rest. 1 star allows me to gain a heart and lose 1 time. I am down to 0 time, so I am done. I've got a weak attack and a sprint left. I tell you what I'll do. I'm going to get rid of the weak attack to bump this up to 1 so I can buy a reroll. Actually, the fly faster. So I will buy fly faster. I get the 2 walks back, and then these go into their spot. That is the end of my turn. The killer stabs. There's nobody there. He draws the terror card. This drops by 1. He targets the nearest victim, moves a boot, which moves him 2. He can go 1, 2, and then he stabs. He kills this victim, which pushes this up, which drops this down one more. And he does 4 damage when he attacks. So when he hits me, I'm dead. Alright, this goes away, and we reveal the finale card. Butcher Bloodlust. On his turn, the Bloodlust increase. He targets me or the nearest victim. He moves and he stabs. Okie doke. My turn. I got to play Fly Faster to get the helicopter here. I need to roll 2 dice. I need 1 star. And I got it. It is at Arctic Station, so it is here. And I lose 1 time. This went back up to 6. I'm down to 5. Let's do a walk to see if we can just walk that one place. I got 1 star. I can move 1 space. I take these 2 and I put them on the plane. There's no use in trying to rescue this one. So we are done with that. And also lose a time, so I'm down to 4. And I tell them to get on the plane, so they are on the helicopter. And I have a sprint. I'll do the sprint. I need, you know what? I need to get back inside. I'll do the sprint. And I failed. So I will move a space here. 1, 2. Yep. And then I lose 2, move and lose a time. Okay. And I'm going to do a walk. 2 stars allows me to be 2, so I can get inside. I'm going to go here, and I'm going to go to the commander's hut. And the commander's hut has the dog, which I don't think I can do anything with. And that is the end of my turn. The walk took me 1 time, so I have 2 time left. I will buy a sprint. Actually, no. I'm going to buy a search. And I get all the freebies back. This goes back up to 6. These go into their spot. And that is the end of my turn. His turn. He targets the nearest victim and stabs. Bye-bye, last victim. This bumps up. And he draws it. He doesn't have to draw any more tarot cards. They're gone. So now he's going to be coming after me. All right, let's do this. My turn. All right. I need to heal. I'll do a short rest. Actually, yeah. I got 1 star, which allows me to put another heart on here, and I lose a time. I'm going to do 2 focuses. I got 1, which allows me to lower this by 1 and lose a time. I'm going to do it again. Nothing. I do not want to get rid of my weak attack or my search. Actually, I'll get rid of the weak attack and the search to make this a star, which allows me to drop this by 1, and I lose a time. Now I have 3 time left. For that 3, I will buy a sprint and a reroll. Reroll. I get the freebies back. These go back into their spots. And this goes up to 6. And it is now the killer's turn.
Check out the new RPG and Wargame newsletter. Each week, the Tabletop Engineer shares news, products, Kickstarters, and much more related to the gaming hobby. It's free to subscribe, so check out the link in the video description below to sign up.
So the killer, the bloodlust goes up. Well, when it gets to the top, it says Hans recovers a heart, but he's at full health. Then he targets me and he moves 2 boots. 2 boots is 6 spaces. He can go 1, 2, 3. He's in here. He stabs me for 5. So here's how this works. 1, 2, 3. Now when you lose all your heart, you reveal this. I have 1 heart for 4. So unfortunately, since he does 5 damage, he kills me, and that is it. And look, Station 2891 is empty, and the killer is in the commander's hut, where hopefully he freezes to death. All right, that's all I got. This is Jim, the Tabletop Engineer. Thanks for joining me as I played this very fast game of Final Girl. Let me tell you, I love this game. Sometimes the cards and the dice are on your side, and then sometimes it is the worst kind of horror movie around, and you are going to lose so bad. As you saw, it just went south on me from the first dice roll. But still fun. All right, this is Jim, the Tabletop Engineer. I will be back again in a week with another game of Final Girl. I hope you'll join me then. Until then, everyone, take care.